Good morning, students. In last class, we discussed about the different type materials based on the energy gap. We classified the materials into three types: insulators, semiconductors, and conductors. And in last class, we discussed about the conduction in metals. Today, we will discuss about the semiconductors. Semiconductors are classified into two types that are intrinsic semiconductor means pure semiconductor. Second one, extrinsic semiconductor, which is impure. So we already know the semiconductors, silicon and germanium. These two are the popularly used semiconductors. Why we are going with extrinsic semiconductors again? Here, by adding the impurities to the intrinsic semiconductor, the conductivity of the material will be increases. To improve the conductivity of the material, will we are studying the extrinsic semiconductor. So compared to the intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductors having the better conductivity. The process of adding impurities to a pure semiconductor is known as doping. Through the doping, useful electron device can be fabricated from a semiconductor. This doping process increases the conductivity. Conductivity in semiconductor can be controlled by the doping process. Intrinsic semiconductor. A pure form of semiconductor is called intrinsic semiconductor. Semiconductors belongs to the fourth group in periodic table, and they have valence of 4 electrons, as they are called tetravalent materials. In the fourth group, we are having the carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, and lead. In this fourth group, one form of carbon, diamond, is used as insulator. Other form of carbon, graphite, is used as semiconductor. Silicon and germanium, these two are the popularly used semiconductors. Remaining two, tin and lead, these two are the metals. So these are acting as conductors. Semiconductors, silicon and germanium have the covalent bonding. Let us consider the structure of silicon. A silicon atomic number is 14 and it has 4 valence electrons. These 4 electrons are shared by 4 neighboring atoms in the crystal structure by means of covalent bond. In next slide, figure 1 shows the crystal structure of silicon at absolute zero temperature. Hence, a pure semiconductor acts as poor conductivity due to the lack of free electrons at absolute zero temperature. That means at 0 Kelvin, the thermal energy is 0. So, when thermal energy is 0, the covalent bonds will not break. So, there is no free electrons in the conduction band. There is no conductivity. The figure 1, crystal atoms are arranged in the form of tetrahedron. Each semiconductor atoms form a 4 covalent bonds to become stable or to acquire noble electronic configuration. At 0 Kelvin, all valence electrons participate in covalent bond formation. When electron is present inside covalent bond, it will be under strong influence of two parent atoms. Hence, cannot respond to external electric field. It behaves as bound electrons. At 0 Kelvin, all valence electrons behave as bound electrons and therefore conduction cannot occur. When temperature increases, the valence electrons receive thermal energy in the form of heat in the form of heat. Average thermal energy received by valence electron is K into T. Here K is the Boltzmann constant. It is equals to 8.6 into 10 power minus 5 electron volt per Kelvin. K equals to 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 joule per Kelvin. Now I am saying K equals to 8.6 into 10 power minus 5 electron volt per Kelvin. To convert into joule per Kelvin, we need to multiply this 8.6 into 10 power minus 5 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Now, whatever I mentioned in Boltzmann constant K 8.6 into 10 power minus 5 is in electron volt per Kelvin. Now, the average thermal energy at room temperature can be calculated by using K into T, Boltzmann constant into temperature. At room temperature, T equals to 30 Kelvin. Now, 30 Kelvin into 8.6 into 10 power minus 5 electron volt per Kelvin is equals to 0.026 electron volt. If a valence electron receives sufficient thermal energy or greater than or equal to the energy gap of material, that moves into the free space and becomes free electron. The incomplete covalent bond having efficiency of one electron will act as hole. Now, this hole, with increase in temperature, concentration of free electrons and holes will increase. Thereby, conductivity also increases. When you are increasing the more temperature, then the covalent bonds in the crystal will be break. Then the free electrons will be increases. Similarly, holes also increases. Holes are having the positive charge and electrons are having the negative charge. These two are acting as the charge carriers. Due to these free electrons and holes, the conduction in the material will be increases. When temperature increases, concentration of free electrons and holes increases, thereby conductivity of the material increases. When external electric field is applied to the semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor, free electrons travel inside free space from negative to positive potential, which results in free electron current from positive to negative potential. Similarly, hole travel from positive to negative potential because of movement of bound electron in opposite direction. This results in hole current from positive to negative potential. Net current will be sum of free electron current and hole current in intrinsic semiconductor or semiconductor. Total current in the semiconductor can be total current density or total current in the semiconductor can be written as current due to the we already know the electron current density is Ne mu n into E. And similarly, whole current density can be written as Ne mu P E. Here, N is the concentration of electrons or number of electrons, and small e is the charge of the electron. Mu n is the mobility of the electrons, and capital E is the applied electric field. Here I wrote here N, P, E indicates the concentration of holes. Why? Because in the intrinsic semiconductor we can get the current due to the free electrons and holes. So this current density is related to the holes. So here I have written N, but you consider P, concentration holes, and E is the charge of hole. It is equals to charge of electron, and mu P is the mobility of holes, and capital E is the applied electric field. For pure intrinsic semiconductor, free electrons and hole concentration are equal. Why? Because when you are increasing the temperature, covalent bond will broken, and in that covalent bond, electron will move out. That electron becomes the free electron, and empty space become hole. So when number of free electrons increases, number of holes increases. So in this pure or intrinsic semiconductor, number of electrons, number of free electrons equals to number of holes. So it is also called as intrinsic concentration. So here I have mentioned N equals to P equals to Ni. Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration. Now we have written J equals to Ni E mu N E plus Nie mu P E. Here I have taken Ni as common. Ni mu n plus mu P into E into capital E. Here I have considered the Ni into mu n plus mu P into small e is considered as the sigma I. The sigma I is the intrinsic semiconductor conductivity. Intrinsic semiconductor conductivity. In this, Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration. It is equals to the number of free electrons or number of holes in the pure semiconductor, and mu n is the mobility of the electron, and mu p is the mobility of the hole, and small e is the charge of the electron or hole. Both are same. Here we need to observe this intrinsic semiconductor connectivity is depends on the intrinsic carrier concentration, and mu n plus mu p. This mu n is the mobility of the electron and mu p is the mobility of the hole. These two are constants. In general, mobility of the electron is more compared to the mobility of hole. So this mu and mu p, these two are constants, and similarly small e, it is the charge of the electron, it is also constant. It is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So the conductivity of the intrinsic semiconductor is directly proportional or directly depends on the concentration of intrinsic carrier concentration. When intrinsic carrier concentration increases, the conductivity of the intrinsic semiconductor will be increases. Given the table, in this you can observe the intrinsic carrier concentration and mobility of the electrons, mobility of the holes of silicon and germanium at room temperature. That means 27 degrees Celsius or 300 Kelvin. So these are the standard values. So now Say intrinsic carrier concentration 1.5 into 10 power 10 per centimeter cube in the silicon and 1.5 into 10 power 13 per centimeter cube in germanium. So when you are observing the silicon and germanium of intrinsic carrier concentration, in the germanium we are having the more intrinsic carrier concentration. So we can say germanium having the better conductivity compared to the silicon. And the mobility of the electron in the silicon is 1300 centimeter square per volt second. In germanium 3800 centimeter square per volt second. Similarly, mobility of hole in silicon 500 centimeter square per volt second. In germanium 800 centimeter square per volt second. When I comparing the mobility of electron and hole in the silicon, the mobility of electron is more. Here it is 1300 centimeter square per volt second and mobility of hole is only 500 centimeter square per volt second. We are comparing in germanium, mobility of electron is 3800 centimeter square per volt second and mobility of hole is 1800 centimeter square per volt second. So from this we can say the mobility of electron in any material is more compared to the mobility of holes. The mobility of electron is more compared to the mobility of hole in any material. Problem in this, calculate the resistivity of pure germanium at room temperature. So in this, we already know the standard values that are intrinsic carrier concentration of germanium is Ni equals to 2.5 into 10 power 13 per centimeter cube and mobility of electron is 3800 centimeter square per volt second and mobility of hole 1800 centimeter square per volt second. And we know the formula of conductivity sigma I equals to mu n plus mu p into E into Ni. So by substituting these values you can get the conductivity of pure germanium is equals to 0.224 mho per centimeter. So we know the conductivity. To calculate the resistivity, it is equals resistivity equals to inverse of conductivity. So from this we can write 44.64 ohm centimeter.